Hello and welcome to another Cardboard Alchemy Live. I am Peter Vaughn here at Cardboard Alchemy. It's on a Friday or whenever you're watching this. We've got Rosie, our comms manager, in the stream, who will be sadly losing today at a game of Flamecraft Duals that we're going to be playing. Of course, I'm saying that as smack talk because Rosie did beat me the last time we played. Speaking of duels, we're in the middle of a live campaign for Flamecraft Duals. Perhaps you've seen it on Kickstarter, or you've seen the Kickstarter newsletter, which happened to shout it out today, which was awesome. Currently with 11,649 backers. Thank you if you're one of those backers and are supporting games getting made. This is what we do here at Cardboard Alchemy. And this stream is about talking about games. We can talk about what you're going to play. We can talk about games like Flamecraft Duals or Flamecraft or Critic Kitchen or Andromeda's Edge. One of the things we're going to do today in the stream is we're going to talk about the expansion to Flamecraft, which also happens to be funding with the Duals campaign. It has caused a little bit of confusion because we're doing that, but we're taking this universe that we all love with the little dragons, and we're basically saying, here's a brand new game, and here is expanded content. And both of these things are on our Kickstarter, so that's what we're going to focus on today, as well as talking about Flamecraft Duals, playing Flamecraft Duals, and answering whatever questions you have. You might have questions about, say, the big news that we had yesterday. Another part of Flamecraft is expanding. We're going digital. So we could talk about that as well. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for saying hello. It's nice to see you. People are like, another news drop. Well, some of this stuff is just on the Kickstarter, but it may still be news to you because a lot of people, you see a campaign that's as long as the one that we put up on Duals, and you're wondering what the heck is in there. So I'll bring on Rosie so we could chat more and answer your questions. And she's coming in with a frog. That's a cute one.
I don't have many, just this bowl full.
I believe I probably owe you now from the last stream. We put an arrangement on this, right? If you want Duals, I had to send you Series 3 Flamecraft minis prototype.
Yeah, exactly. And if you win, then you get some of my frogs.
Nice. Today I'll be trying to get frogs.
Today I'm trying to get frogs.
Yep. So we have a lot of things to talk about. Do we want to start with the expansion content? Do we want to start with the game?
I think we should start with the expansion. This live in particular is to talk more in depth about Dragons and Dragons, which is the expansion for the Flamecraft base game, because trying to make it as clear as possible what it's for.
Right. So this is what happened. We were making promos, as we tend to do. And then Manny said something to me about, those high dragons, those duels that are in Duals, we could bring them to Flamecraft. And I said, that's crazy talk, except, okay, we have to do that now. We 100% have to do that now. And then we talked about making a shop that was dedicated to Duals itself. Then we talked about making a shop that was dedicated to our upcoming sequel, Flamebound. Then we talked about a new way to play the park. Then we talked about new companions. And when we started saying all of that, we decided, this is an expansion. This is enough content to be an expansion. So Manny then dubbed that expansion Dragons and Dragons. And that was where we went. Sandara then drew all of the dragons on the cover, and you can see that on the Kickstarter page. But we want to explain what this is. Like, what are all these parts? So they are modules that you can add to your game of Flamecraft. If you do need Flamecraft to play, that is the first thing I should make abundantly clear, because we have gotten that question. You need the original Flamecraft to play Dragons and Dragons. What that means is that then when you have all of these modules, you can decide what is it that you liked best. We recommend, and we're going to recommend in the rule book, that you don't play all of the modules, because that would be, some people will do it and it's going to be fun, but it might overwhelm the game. So we are going to recommend that you throw one or two of these modules in each time you play. And then some people will say, the best one is the new park. Some other people will say the best one is clearly the high dragons, mixing them in. So we're going to go over each one so that you can kind of get a taste right now of what we are doing. Where do you want to start, Rosie?
I think I want to start with the park.
The park. That is a great one to talk about.
Because that's really cool, because it's giving you a new way to play the park, and it's giving you a neoprene mat that sits
Right.
on top of the park.
This is a
Which
very
is
subtle module. Subtle, but important. The reason why we wanted to make this one is a little bit because when new players play Flamecraft, they tend to take all the dragons. Why would you not do that, right? You take all the dragons and then the game is over. And you wonder to yourself, could we have left some of the dragons in the park? Could we have done that? And so we thought about this new exciting way to play the park where instead of drawing a dragon, you fire it up instead. And it seems really minor, but it has all sorts of permutations that start to happen now. For example, any shop that gathers dragons, like Drake of Cakes, which gives you two chances to draw from the park, you are allowed to fire up. Now, that we made a rule that you can only do it once, so you're allowed to only take that action once. But what that means is you can draw one and then fire one, or you could draw two. It gives you some options when you're playing Drake of Cakes that you never had before with that shop. We have an image that we could share too, right?
let's oh, hello.
That's for later. That's not the park. It is and it isn't the park, right? Because it's the duels board, not to confuse. So this particular module is called Parks and Crafts. As you can tell, Manny likes his puns, and we are. This is it's like a TV show. But basically, we also, Sindara decided to put fall colors for your new neoprene mat. This will lay right over the end of town and sync right up with the existing mat. And then it also prints the power on the mat itself, and it still leaves the two ends so you can put a shop there when you're playing 3+ players. So,
yeah.
So when taking a dragon into your hand, once per turn, you may fire it instead. So
and I've not played this since a while. So is there still having the cards face down as well being done?
No, we were trying something.
I got scrapped.
We were trying something at the beginning where dragons would go into the park asleep, or because we have a shop in the game. I don't know if people are familiar with the game, but it has a dragon roost where the dragons come in sleeping. So we did think about how this park was potentially everyone would come in upside down, and then you had to wake them up and then fire them, but that was too many steps.
If you go to a park in the UK right now, everyone is asleep in parks. They're all just sunbathing asleep. So it does make sense that they would be asleep in the park, but totally fair. I did wonder, just curious. But it's really exciting because I think what that means is you get almost like, if not another turn, but you get like another fire up, another power, and that could require you to create some really cool combos.
There's really fun. Like, first of all, when you combine this module with High Dragons Duals, you're going to find out how crazy this gets. But if you just take the basic dragons, the artisans that have been in the game this whole time, there are very interesting choices. Like, for example, crystal dragons. You might want one in your hand, but you just might want 3 goods. You might actually say, I don't need to have another crystal dragon in my hand. I just want to get 3 things right now. This could also be interesting too when you go enchant a shop and you're enchanting with a bread dragon. Normally, the bread dragon would gather something from the park, but now you could actually fire up a meat dragon that's sitting in the park during your enchantment. There's really fun things you can pull off here. Normally, you would have grabbed that meat dragon and then there might have not been anything to do, but now there would be something to do.
And there's a little pond and little
it's really cute. It's very much the same park.
Hexagon table, the duels table?
It's possible that she stuck the duels table in there. That's great. That's really fun.
Did you not know?
I did not know that she put the duels table in the park.
Otherwise, what could it be?
Now, those wondering if this fits in your box, actually, we tested rolling this new mat with the original mat. So it will fit in both the deluxe and the standard game because you can just roll it with your other mat.
And it's still got the little additional plus people marks on the side very subtly.
3, 4, and 5 player. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
be able to add shops.
Yeah, absolutely. So
So
it's very cute. I'm very excited for
imagine it with
this.
dragons on it, and there you go. There's the Parks and Crafts module.
Very cute. Okay. So the next section, let's talk about another place that you can go. There's an additional place 10 minutes outside of town.
Oh yes, 10 minutes outside of town. Yes.
Let's
What is
talk
10 minutes
about
outside of town?
the
Well, there's
Elder.
a statue.
Oh,
Now,
look.
this one is interesting because this is our tribute to Flamebound, which is the sequel of Flamecraft. And this was a way of putting something in Flamecraft that will lead to that moment where all the dragons go on an adventure. So you see there's 2 dragons there exploring. 10 minutes outside of town, they found a statue. What is happening with the statue? Well, it is covered in these scales, different elemental scales. There's an example here of an Inferno scale, and which they're safe to touch because they're flame. They can deal with flame. An astral scale, and Sadara is drawing 18 of these different elemental scales, and then they're combined with powers. Well, how do those work? Well, it says one of the scales placed here, upscales is what Manny is calling them, may be added after enchanting a shop. So after you go and enchant a shop, if you then are wanting to target the astral scale and you could pay a couple more resources, you could fire up to 3 different dragons in the park. Now, that's aside from the fact that you can fire them up with Parks and Crafts, but that's like something that you can add separately. This module, if you fire up the Inferno scale, you're going to need to turn a bread, a meat, and a bread in. That's a sandwich that people tend to make while they're playing anyway. You're going to draw 2 fancies, and you may pay 1 good each to keep them. So you're going to possibly need that Inferno scale. You're going to need up to 5 resources to take full advantage of it, right?
Yeah,
But if
I'm
you
so excited.
plan your enchantments just right and you make that sandwich, and it's a hot Inferno scale sandwich, you could do this massive like play, which is really fun. And the way this is going to tie into Flamebound is that upscales will come back. There'll be something about upscales in the sequel.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
so
taste.
excited because I always have loads of goods. That's my thing. I always like to get as much as possible, and so the idea that this is going to be very useful for me.
Yeah, this is a really fun mode to play. This to me, you don't have to do an upscale when you enchant, but of course everyone's like, I want the perfect turn, right? I want to wait a second and then that perfect moment will happen. But if you wait too long, someone else will get in there and maybe enchant before you could, maybe they'll take the Inferno scale, right? So you have to, it just provides that extra little edge to the whole enchantment process.
And do we know how many upscales are going to be in the deck?
Yeah, there's 18.
18.
18. Now they are all, some of them are the same powers, but they're all a unique piece of art from Sandara, a scale. But there's themes. There's like fire scales. There's 3 different fire scales. There's 6 different elemental themes, and she's drawing different scales for each one.
Very cool.
So,
very cool. And then are these new ones?
What, this one? The Inferno and the Astral scale?
Are they new?
I know we've shown a couple on the campaign. Sandara is still perfecting them all, so I don't know if these were new on the campaign or some of her latest ones.
So I've got a couple of questions here. So the upscales are going to be shuffled into the enchantments deck. No.
No.
Right?
So what happens is this particular shop, Elder Enchanted, you're going to deal 2 upscales to the shop, and the shop lives outside of town, so it is not a location that you could go to, but every time you enchant, you are allowed to say you got to basically pretend like you're also going to the statue to get a scale, right? So when you're enchanting in town, let's say you're going to enchant Draco Bell, you could say, I'm enchanting Draco Bell, and after I'm all done with that enchantment, I'm casting the Inferno scale. So I'm using my scale.
So you
don't have to go
this.
there.
You never visit this. It's just a place that exists that has this offering that you can use when you enchant in a shop.
Megan nails it with the words, it's a side quest.
It's a side quest.
Right. So you can go on a side quest to the statue to get a scale on and whenever you're enchanting.
I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. That one,
But
That one
this
might
one isn't
be
a shop, but we do have a shop coming.
We do have a shop, yes. Let's
So
talk
this is
about Double Dragons.
Double
Now, this shop is dedicated to the concept of Flamecraft Duals. We wanted to bring duels into Flamecraft in a way that's really cute. So Sadara did this fun shop. You can see things like there are 2 balloons and there's 2 scoops of ice cream and there's 2 players at each table because it's the duels theme. So there's 2 potion bottles next to the picnic basket. She really leaned into the whole, it's a duels theme, right? So these dragons are all playing the game in the park. And as a thematic way to make duels happen in Flamecraft, Manny came up with this idea that you can place 2 dragons here, and then when you fire that slot up, you get to fire both of those dragons. Now, this shop does come out in the game. In fact, it starts the game. So you put out your normal 6 starters and you put out double dragons if you're going to play with it, and that gives you this really exciting new place to go.
I love it so much. I'm so excited.
It's really cute. This one is probably one of my favorite.
6 dragons in this shop?
Yes. So imagine, if you will, since it has a little asterisk on the corner, what does that mean? Well, it's every type of resource, and it can be enchanted, which means if you enchant it and it's full of dragons, you get to fire them all. Mind blown, right? Double dragons is amazing.
And then imagine if there's high dragons in it, you have infinite sort of choice of.
You have a lot of choices if there's high dragons, and Addie confirms it's so good. Thank you, Addie, for confirming.
I'm going to go through a few of these questions about the Elder Dragon just so we cover them. So it's a separate deck next to the statue. Yes, it is separate deck. Does it come out at the start of the game, or does it come into the game like a random other shops? It's at the start of the game.
Both of these shops are at the start. So if you play with Double Dragons, it will be as a starter shop. And if you play with Elder Enchanted, it will be outside of town as a starter building that they could use.
Absolutely. So yeah, I love this one. I want these tables made, all right? We need to get that.
Seriously, let's do a Kickstarter for the tables for duels.
Let's find a woodworker in the UK, okay?
Okay, we'll work on it.
It's so cool. Imagine that as a TikTok. Rosie makes the wooden carving away.
I'll tell Sadara that this shop, she's made adorable artwork. How could you possibly pick your favorite shop? This is one of my absolute favorites because it's showing all the dragon types playing a game. I really like this one.
It's so good. It's so good. Just like they're all together. Oh.
I think, by the way, the Crystal Dragon must be winning. I don't know.
It's hard to guess with the Crystal Dragons because they're just like that.
They're just aloof like that. Yeah.
I think that the Potion Dragon is definitely not focused. That is an ice cream.
That's true. That's very true. I like also the back. If you just talk about the back team, they're giving each other high fives or something about playing.
Aww. And the balloons. I love Sandara's balloons just floating away. Richard is in the chat and he says, Crystal Dragons can't stop winning.
That is true. That's 100% true.
That's so cute. Okay, well, let's talk about the companions. Let's talk about the companions.
Right.
So we are bringing in, there's a bunch of them. We're bringing in 7 new companions, and we have 6 to show you here because the other one is the solo one. And we're not showing you. You've seen it. You can go look at our update. You can go see the solo one.
We've added one more. So we're just going to talk about the 6 multiplayer companions that we have added to the game. I'm particularly excited by these.
We've got...
Because these are folks that work at Cardboard Alchemy that were not in the original Flamecraft. But so if you have played the original Flamecraft, sometimes people don't find the companions because they're back in the back of the rulebook. They're in the box. What are these companions? They are one-time powers that you can use during the game at any time you want. And then after you're done, that companion flips over and falls asleep or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you get a one-time burst. And so Judy joined our team actually very soon after we started delivering or like talking about Flamecraft. After the Kickstarter, Judy handles all of our customer service. So if you've ever had a missing part, if you've ever had a heart or a token or a Andromeda's Edge mini that has been needing a replacement, Judy has probably sent you an email about it. And we decided that Judy was a plant dragon as a result. She loves herbs. And so this is gift up to 4 fancies, gaining 2 coins and 1 fancy per gift. So basically you're deciding to give away fancies to other people to let them share in the joy of fancies, but you don't lose out. You actually also get fancies back.
I guess what you want to do is you want to collect a bunch of fancies you're never going to do. You're like, I'm never going to complete this. I'm not working on odds and evens this time round, and then hope that you get some that are beneficial to you.
Right. This is a fancy cycler of sorts, but gifting, but just saying, hey, you know what you need? You need Gold Rush. You need that.
But if it was me, I deliberately go, you can't do this.
Exactly.
You're never going to do this.
We don't talk about how the gifts might not be the appropriate gift for the person. We just say you will enjoy this, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All right, let's
how
talk about somebody else.
Lauren's?
I also think she's super cute. Lauren is on our production team, and early on, Lauren decided she wanted to be a bread dragon. She also, in her art that Sandara drew for her, she has her dog. Now her dog was too big for the card, so because the dog is bigger than the bread dragon, so Sandara made sure to put a little dog on the apron. Just to
It's so cute. And the great thing is, a lot of the people haven't seen these dragons because we see them all the time, even just in like the head, because we use them in our internal conversations. We have them as our avatars, but a lot of people won't have seen the whole
this is
art for them.
Super fun. Lauren's power is that she starts with all of the adventure dragons. Now we're going to talk about the adventure dragons. They are a new set of artisans coming to the game. Literally, Lauren gets dealt all of them. But then Lauren has a quest to do. When you have no dragons, you can gain up to 5 dragons from the deck or gold coins in any combination. So you have a mission to go spread dragons around town. This is a bread dragon mission, 100%. Bread dragons love to bring more dragons into the fray, to bring more dragons to jobs around town, and that's what Lauren wants to do.
Lauren is OP.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. If you are a dragon-loving player, this is the companion you want to play, because at one time in the game, this is interesting because unlike some of the companion powers where you choose when to fire it, I mean, this is you're choosing how to get down to none, but you have to get down to the none condition before you could do it. So,
and that's the 6th adventure, not the 7. It's the 6th, right?
It's the 6th because, and we haven't revealed this yet, but one of the adventuring dragons is not an artisan. So that little dragon symbol is actually an artisan dragon symbol. So you're gaining all the adventure artisans, but you're not gaining the adventure non-artisan. We're going to talk about that adventure at the end of the campaign.
And then here is Luke's.
Luke
now, Laurie, who is going to join the team soon, but has already been working on developing duels and doing lots of things with us, and of course designed Andromeda's Edge as well. Correct. So it's been a big part of the team already.
We actually gave Luke his first dev assignment, which was Flamecraft Duals, and he has done an amazing job. You'll see his handiwork in some of the Fountain and Fancy card mode, especially because that was something that we wanted to add in, and really worked hard with Manny on that. And we asked Luke, and there's a connection between Luke and Manny, which is interesting because they're both meat dragons. We did say to Luke, what is something about you that Sandara might not know? And he's like, I grill all the time. He does this. He lives in California, and he's got this amazing grill. It's the perfect temperature to do grilling all year round. And he's all about the meat. So his power is gain 2 artisan dragons from the park and then fire 2 in your hand, and then finally place up to 3 artisans from your hand. So it's a really cool turn.
Yeah.
You are gonna change the game when you pull this off. And there's a shop that already can fire from your hand, which is Touch of Glass. So this is like bringing back a mechanism that we had in that shop. So it's a really fun way of getting a bunch of stuff done, which fits Luke.
Yeah, and I feel like you want to do this earlier rather than later in the game, because if you want to get those rewards by placing the dragons in, if it's filled up a lot, you're gonna be like, no, I really want to get those good
Yeah.
spots. So you got to
Yeah.
get a lot of dragons quickly to really pull this off. It's
One of the
really
things
cool.
I also really like about this one is this feels like a game developer move. This feels like this is a complex move because you're also getting 3 placements and a couple of firings. I mean, you know, this is the kind of thing you're going to have to think out exactly how this is going to go. The timing of which I feel like it fits a Luke type of move here.
Yeah. Impy has a question. Have these new companions been play tested for balancing with the old ones, or is the idea you only deal out new ones? Because at first sight, they seem more powerful than the originals.
They have been balanced. And not only that, they've been play tested with the old ones. I argue that Peter, my companion, is just as powerful as these. And why would you want to play one of these? No, just kidding. These are amazing. And we tested it specifically with, you know, the most OP power, by the way, in the entire game. I think our Discord will agree is Rich. Rich is that's a really good dragon to play. However, each dragon is powerful in the moment that it needs. Like, for example, I think there is Daniel's power from the original is extremely powerful at the right moment, right? So that's the kind of trick with these is you're looking for that moment. And when we talk about Rosie's power, that's one that you have to kind of, or you have to get that right moment to happen for it to
Yep.
go.
Well, let's look at mine now. So
Yes. Let's check yours out.
hang on.
Let's get the mug. You have the actual mug that is used, and you told Sadara about it, which is great.
She
And
originally drew a brown one, and I was like, can it look like this?
I think we all knew that you had to be a fancy dragon when we
Yeah,
conceived this
it
idea.
was, well, for me, it was a lot about the colors. I am wearing the wrong hat right now. It's
You are, yes.
normally this one. But you can see she did a very good job
She did. She
drawing.
captured that hat.
I know, it's amazing. I wish the pom-poms always looked that fluffy and
Yeah.
clean. Uh,
The only thing that doesn't fit about you being a fancy dragon is that the fancy dragons in Flamecraft don't do any work. So that is not true.
it was, for me, it was the colors and the
Yes,
cozy
it's the color.
aspect.
Yes,
And
they're
for
very cozy.
for the cozy vibes, we were like, we've got to have those 2 colors. I'm a sucker for pink and teal. And also, we already have so many, like, Sandara's a fancy as well, and she works very hard.
That's true.
So,
So there are a couple of exceptions. They just fancies do a different kind of work. It's not the same type. So it's kind of funny because it's not like the production work, but it's quite a bit of marketing flair that you add to the team, and you are communicating on all different platforms, which is a magical effect that you have over all of our communities. And your power in the game is to gain a fancy and coin, maximum 4, because it got crazy in testing, for every full set of 6 unique goods that you have. So you don't have to turn them in, but if you have sets of goods, right, and there's 6 different types of goods, so if you can collect, you know, like 3 meat, 3 iron, 3 crystal, 3 bread, 3 plant, and 3 potions, then you could turn that in for these fancies and coins, right?
yep.
It
It's,
tends to
yeah,
make you,
it's
it's a little
cool.
bit quirky to get used to, right?
Yeah, when I played it, I was like, I tried to, the first time I did it, there was no limitation, so I tried to get to 7 of each. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm getting 7. Come on. And then I realized that around 4 or 5 would have been a better time because it was getting to like too late to use them. But
right.
once I got into that, once I was like, I'd done this move, then I was spending goods I could just enchant whatever I wanted. And
Yeah.
imagine that with the upscales, with double dragons, like,
Yeah.
oh, that would
I
be,
mean, there's some fun. The thing that's tricky about it is it does seem to make you wait to get enchantments done, so you can be watching the enchantments and think, I got to get in there, but you want to get all those goods in order to get your super move.
yeah,
So it's a
push your luck.
it's a come from behind kind of, like, you don't have any points at first,
Yeah.
but you're going to show everybody just how it's
Yeah, I'm
done.
literally just sat there doing nothing, going, what? Like, I've
Yeah,
got a plan.
I'm just hoarding.
I'm just
Yeah, Rosie looks very good in Endgame, as mentioned by
Higgy Baby says I'm missing my glasses. I only got these glasses when I got married 6 months ago, and this was drawn over a year and a half ago. How long have I been with the company? So unless Sandara can see in the future, which maybe she can, I feel like it could be a fun little accessory to add on one day. But I change my glasses more often than the hat, so. But it would be cool. Maybe in my old lady phase.
That could be a small addition, yes.
Yeah, old Rosie.
Let's
We've got 2 more. Let's do
Yep, 2 more
Nicole, because the
companions.
last
This
one
is how
is
cool this expansion is, by the way. You have all these options, and I think someone did, since Impy mentioned about the older ones, I actually think that now we have enough companions that you could deal everyone out 2, and everyone gets 2 one-time powers. That is not a mode we have tested, just a warning, but I think there's so much fun to be had with these now.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
curious about
Nicole,
synergy between, if there was any kind of
yeah,
synergy between the 2 that you've
there
got.
would need to be probably some BGG threads or some Discord threads about maybe some legal combinations of 2, but,
These 2
in any
don't work.
case,
These 2 work very well.
yeah, but I think it would be fun to try. So maybe we'll have to do some Discord things where we lead we sort of like, engineer that. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Nicole, who has joined our team as director of operations, and she's working with all our retailers, and she's doing all sorts of sales. Because of that being such a, it's all about the shops. Actually, the pledge on the campaign is called the Shopkeeper Pledge. So this is choose any shop and gather all goods from it, and it's 2 touching neighbor shops. So
Imagine
that,
Nicole and Rosie just smashing it.
right? That would be a good combo. And it is a good combo at Cardboard Alchemy. So we do like that combo. But this one is the first time in the game that location matters. Location, which also seems to fit Nicole. She's very savvy in that way. So it's really fun to decide where the shops are going to go, and particularly build this little pack of 3 shops that are going to produce a lot.
It's very
So
fitting for operations manager to be managing where shops are.
right? It's very fitting. I think this, and then Nicole chose a crystal dragon, which is very pretty. Definitely.
And it's got a little detail of the design is related to a particular singer that she likes.
Yes.
Anyone can guess or already knows, maybe some people might already know. But that was the information that she gave Sandara, was I'd like it to match up with my particular interest. But yeah, it's very cool. I like it a lot. But I love the idea that I'll give it away. This dragon is a Swiftie. Really cool.
Yep. That's a really fun outfit.
So the final one is a little bit bizarre. Because
that's right. And that fits. It fits. Chris is a little bit
this
bizarre.
is orange. What's this? This is an orange with oranges?
This is the first time we've seen, because here's what happened. Chris actually, if anyone remembers, Chris had his own dragon image on the first campaign, because Chris, before working at Cardboard Alchemy, helped us animate that trailer and do parts of the page, and he was super, super good friend and connected to us. And then he's made a game. He's a designer himself and a publisher and a developer. And so his former, one of his designs was called Asking for Troubles. And the idea that he posed in that game was, could a game be all orange? The funny thing about that is I backed the first Kickstarter, and the community said, no, we do not want an all orange game. Actually, in his second launch, he made a little bit of blue in there. It is still mostly orange, but it does have some blue. And this is kind of funny because now he's in this, he's wearing this blue apron and he's got orange. So it's like Sandara took him back to that. But why is so he's an orange dragon. What does that mean? Well, we don't have orange dragons in traditional Flamecraft. This is actually an Easter egg that alludes to Flamebound, because there is a type of dragon in Flamebound that's going to be a fruit dragon. And so Chris is I don't know if we could say he's a high dragon or a dual, but he is bringing the fruit over to Flamecraft. This is an Easter egg we had not mentioned before on the page, but it is basically the first fruit dragon that you're going to see in town. Maybe he gives them the idea that they need to go out and find more fruit dragons. Chris's power
This bread
also,
dragon just eat too many carrots, like
it could be just a bread dragon. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and there is no such thing as fruit dragons, but we're going to find out. He's also got a little trouble on his apron pocket. That is another Easter egg for his original game. And his power is that you start with 3 high dragons from setup in your hand instead of your normal artisans. And then his power is that you're going to fire all of the high dragons in town. So if you're dealing in, say, Team Cozy, Chris gets 3 of Team Cozy to start with. He decides where they go, and at any point in the game, he could fire up all of Team Cozy. So he could wait. He could do it. He's in control. He could get 3 to go right away, or he could wait and see when those other Team Cozy dragons come out, and he can fire them all up.
It could be the most epic move ever because each of those high dragons has a unique power and they can do lots of different things. So depending on the order that he does it in, it could be
an amazing combo. It really does.
I don't know if I've got the brain capacity for all 6 going off at the same time. Like I feel like
it really does fit the developer. So Chris helped us develop a lot of the Dragons and Dragons content, and I feel like this really fits the development role because you're just getting a taste of all of the high dragons this way.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're all very cool, and that's another additional thing inside Dragons and Dragons. There's so much. There's so much, absolutely. And there is one more thing.
One more Dragons and Dragons things to talk about, which is that we are adding, and you'll see this on the campaign, the adventurers are coming into the game, and we've revealed these 5 so far, with a couple more to go. Actually, wait a minute. We've only revealed 4 on the campaign. This is a sneak peek.
I was just looking, going, hang on a second.
Gareth has snuck in, the Iron Dragon has snuck in to be part of this reveal in this stream, because that's what we do here. Sometimes if you're watching our streams, you're going to see stuff first. So we are going to reveal the Iron Dragon next week, and that's Ferris. Ferris gave us such, it's fun because it inspired giving the Iron Dragon a backpack for the plush, and it's just a fun idea. Yeah.
It's so cute. I love
Faith. I thought I missed an update. That's really funny. We have not talked about Ferris yet in the update.
Is it a Ferris Bueller reference? It's not a Ferris Bueller reference. Bueller? No. I never know how to say that guy's name. It's not. Bueller. Isn't it a term for metal? It's another Irish for metal.
Yeah, there's a history for it's a metal reference.
I think it's Irish for iron, but have a Google. I think it is. We were like reminding ourselves a bit recently.
A lot of the Discord, they're sort of like pondering what D&D class these would be. These are not meant to be officially any class, but it's inevitable that you would say, oh, there's Sapphire's the mage. We're just having fun identifying those types of things, and I believe Ferris is a warrior, and you've got Tender sort of a barbarian, but the general idea is it's a board game still, and you're going to be using these are the heroes that are going to be in Flamebound, but we're bringing them into Dragons and Dragons to get you used to the team that will be going on that adventure. And someone asked, Faith asked, are these alternate starter dragons or just mixed in the deck? They're just mixed in. They have the Artisan Dragon back just like the High Dragons do, just like the fresh scale dragons do that are in the promo pack. So this gives you that option. This is what some people asked for. They said, when we play 5-player, it goes too fast. Because people grab the dragons, as we said at the beginning. If you grab the dragons, they go really fast. So this is a way you can add these dragons into the deck and kind of extend your game a little bit. We do not recommend adding all of the dragons in because it will make the whole balance of spots and shops not work. So if you are going to add these 7 and you're going to add the fresh scale, you might want to take out a set. Say, hey, Honey and Herb, why don't you take a break? Just relax for a minute. You don't need to play this one. So you're going to want to decide your dragon deck. And especially also if you're adding the high dragons, you would then maybe take out another set. So this is a way of if you want to achieve the same exact experience as Flamecraft, You are now going to have more artisans than you know what to do with. But if you want to increase the artisans, you can add, say, the adventurers as an option.
I love it. That's so cute. I'm
And we
very
have
excited.
an official comment here. Iron is a chemical element, and it has a symbol Fe. From
And
the
also,
Latin.
ferrous metals known for containing iron have distinct
There you
properties
go.
and uses. So it's just clearly a very irony word. Not irony, irony.
The irony. So we also have another question about fresh scales, which I mentioned twice. The fresh scales are in the Dragons of the Past promo pack, and they are included in both the Horde and the bundle tiers. So basically, they are a $5 add-on where you can get all the promos that we've ever done. Or if you get to the top 2 tiers, you're getting those also. We're throwing it in.
Yep.
So the fresh
And
scales
the Kickstarter is linked below. If you're still deciding, you can go below, and also you can go in there and have a look. And we keep doing updates and spilling things and doing fun things.
Can see now we don't have high dragons featured on this look at Dragons and Dragons because high dragons are all over the duels are all over the page, like Waffle and Dutch and all these different high dragons. You're going to see them all over the page. There's actually a big section that shows Donut with all the high dragons. That's another whole game in and of itself. And so you can see that, and this is a special, the Kickstarter has a special price for the Dragons and Dragons. I cannot stress this enough. We do not know if Dragons and Dragons will be in retail. We do not know if it'll be widespread. It may be only on our site. It may be only at cons. It may be in retail. We're talking about where it could go. But if you are interested in making your game of Flamecraft just have all these different modules that you can play, this is the best time to come in. You guarantee you get a copy, and it really does change up your base game. It really just, you have options. New park, new shops, new dragon types, new companions. It's a lot of fun.
Also, tell your this isn't just a sales pitch. This is people just aren't aware. Tell your Flamecraft friends there's an expansion, because we're doing our best to get the word out there. But every now and again, someone goes, "There's an expansion." They just don't clock it.
Yeah.
And I put out a video that explains everything.
Yeah.
I put out some pictures, and people are like, a new Kickstarter. No, it's in this one. It's in the same one.
Yes. You have to please help us, because friends don't let friends let their friends have no Flamecraft upgrades. No, you have to. It's one of those things that people often write to us right after a campaign and say, "Oh, I had no idea," So please tell your friends.
Tell your Flamecraft friends. Right. So you're gonna beat me at duels, right?
I think we're gonna play a duels match. I believe I do owe you a solid defeat.
You can keep your questions coming in. We'll answer them while someone's taking their turn.
Yes, that's what we'll do. So let's go to this.
I am starring them, so that's what I can do on the back end, is I can save the questions. So don't worry, they're not getting lost.
If anybody has not yet seen how to play duels, we won't be doing like full rules here, but we could also answer questions or talk out what we're doing with our turn. So are we mixing in any modes, Rosie? That's what I do.
Yeah, I think we should do the fountain, because you were very good at the fountain. When we first played it, you got 5 out of the 6. And I want to see if I can not let that happen again.
Now that you know a little bit more about the fountain?
Now that I know how you work with the fountain.
I will say also that I had, there were some fancies I was using at that time. So we might have to make our last match be both fountain and fancy.
Yeah, we should combine. We should combo.
So this is a mode of play in the game that allows you to place this little blocker, which is the statue. If you're backing duels and you're doing so deluxe, you're going to get a mini for this. But what that means is that it starts off the board, and if during your turn you're able to achieve one of these four in a row, you can then bring in the statue, which blocks a space, but you also get a token from the space that you blocked for your next token. We're going to pull tokens out of the bag to determine who will be going first. I have pulled a potion dragon. That does seem to be low on the track, but you have gone lower. So you look at this fire up chart, and the one closest to the top is the one that will be taking the first
We were
turn.
just coasting on the bottom there. So.
Nice. We have to get
How many fancy dragon cards are there in the duel game? There are 8 fancy dragon cards, and you use 2 if you're going to use the fancy mode.
Oh, I already had 2.
Go, Rosie. Thank you, Addie. Appreciating the support from my very small fan club. Because last time everyone was going for betas. Are you already using a coin?
No, I forgot that the mod does deal out 2, so I'm putting them back. I will shuffle. I didn't see that. I don't know what's happening. Okay.
There was also, who's your favorite adventure dragon? Oh, I really like Graham. I love Graham's little croissant bag. But the plant one is also beautiful.
Ooh,
so
Calzone comes out of the gate.
Wow.
That's what we're talking about. Calzone, thank you. This is going to be a fun move. I'm going to go here when you have...
I'm now looking over here because I have a screen and I don't want to look at this one because that's Peter's cards. So, I'm doing my best to avoid.
Yeah, I'm only going to bring them up to when I need to look at them. So
okay, good.
Safe. So Calzone has 2 power choices. One is a bread dragon, one is a meat dragon. Meat will throw a token anywhere I want that's adjacent, and bread will take another turn. I'm going to play another turn with the bread dragon. So I'm going to bring out this crystal dragon. This crystal dragon is going to go... We'll go right in the middle. Or if I don't go in the middle row, will I be trying to do the opening move that's in our puzzle?
No.
I actually don't want to go. I'm going to put the crystal somewhere else. I don't really want to give Rosie an auto crystal thing here. I'm going to pull out 3 tokens. Because that's the crystal power, is to pull out 3 tokens and choose one to place. You don't get to fire it. That is not the dragons I was looking for. Sorry.
These are not the dragons you're looking for.
Sorry, Frostfire and Twig and Potato. We'll put Twig somewhere. We'll put Twig over here. How about that?
Okay.
Give Rosie some options.
Thank you.
And we're going to turn in one of our 2 cards, which is going to be... And I got to remember the fountain is in play. So I could have loaded up meat and gotten ready for that fountain, but it is dangerous to do so. So I am going to do this card, which is Bread Potion. It is Le Petit Dragon to start the game.
Your French is perfect.
That's one of the original shops that started it all.
Oh, okay. I got a potion.
Best time to study our cards is when Rosie's taking her turn. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, no. You're not going to be happy.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to swap.
Okay.
Okay, that one and that one.
Oh, you got 2? Calzone, you have betrayed me.
How betrayed by the calzones. I believe that's actually a quote from Parks and Rec.
That's funny. That's brutal.
That was beautiful because I needed that swap. I needed that swap
to
get that.
Okay, so I drew Pearl. I'm getting all of the high dragons, the duels, to help me out now, which is nice because I'm going to need them. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Question is whether or not to take a whole nother turn or to get 3 tokens here. That is a tough choice.
I don't think
I also see a possibility of getting the bread fountain. Possibly. It's a shot. And if I don't do it, I'm basically handing it to you probably. I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to draw 3.
No.
And I'm not going to get to fire the dragon up. Ah, devastating.
You're going to have to cover up one of those just to
I might have to cover one because we can't have that.
A lot of the fountain game is just trying to stop the other person from getting 4, which means that you just end up not getting them.
I'm going this, and I'm going to go meat, iron meat. This is a savage.
Can we get a whole view of the board? Impy says. I can only see part of it.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah.
I can zoom in a little bit too. Okay, so I don't get the other card. We're drawing a card for that. That was a gamble that failed. I'm just gonna say. But
you done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Meat.
Mm.
Meat dragon. So you would not have drawn the bread. I didn't have to cover it up, but I did.
No. I'm going to use a coin.
Interesting. Interesting. Using a coin. That means that Rosie's going to draw 2 more cards, and she'll choose 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Swim Princess 2 is asking, will we get to learn all of the High Dragon powers, or will those be a surprise? You know, we just did this awesome deep dive into companions. Maybe we can highlight a couple of High Dragons. We're not trying to make it a surprise, but there are so many of them to go over. We could try and do some highlights, though.
Yes. Do you know any?
Yeah, I know. Like, for example, Calzone's power is to draw a dragon and then place it. So, like, normally a red dragon draws and a meat dragon places. Calzone gets to do both. Like, that's a very simple one. Some of them are more complicated. Some of them do funky, like Tank. Tank's power is to basically fire up another dragon, and then if you pay a coin, you can fire up again. Like, use their power again. So Tank, like, really charges somebody up.
I'm done. Also, could you help me put these underneath the deck?
Sure. I'll move the deck out of the way. Put those down. Turn those sideways for me.
How do I do that?
You can hit the Q or the E to, like, sort of rotate. There. Yeah. Well, that's one way to rotate. Did you get any cards done?
I did one.
And you covered a meat dragon? How dare you?
I know. That is the thing. You've covered up Pearl over here. I'm just saying.
Okay, fair. Oh, another meat. I love it. I love all the meats are coming out.
Which is your favorite power now in Duals after playing it so much? Because mine changes all the time.
It does change all the time. You know, I know that the answer should be plant, because plant does all the powers. But just on a pure joy factor, I love seeing a crystal come out. Like, I just love the draw 3. I know that it's not always it didn't pay out earlier, but as far as gameplay wise, though, the iron, I know we've talked about, is really fun to excavate tokens, right?
Yeah, I think just when you get an iron move to work and then you score 2, it feels like you've looked at the 3D aspect of the game, and I really like that. I'm gonna check if there were any questions that I missed. I've got a bunch starred. Do you need to roll the Parks and Crafts mat inside the original mat? If you want to store it in the box, yes, that is the best way. You can
also store it in the expansion box. Will be able to hold it. So
yeah.
Will
Dragons and Dragons be in the digital version eventually? Right now, we're just getting the base game done for Steam, and then we'll see where it goes.
This is a dangerous turn, because if I was to move, because there's 4 meat dragons around, and if I excavate, like, so if I get this one out of here, then I also face some chance that you'll be able to pull all this off. 1 second, I gotta kill this incoming call. Sorry, everybody. Yeah,
you get someone to call you when you're losing. Call me when I'm not doing well.
Yes, please. Please interrupt this. Let me just think about this for a second. This is a tricky one. I could pull 2 coins also to sort of see if I could do more with this.
Will we be getting Series 3 miniatures in the future? Yes, you will. There will be Series 3 miniatures. We've already in the process of designing and sculpting them. So yes.
Only I could use that one to do that. Boy, this is tough. There's only 2 iron dragons out there.
Is the Dragons and Dragons box dimensions the same as Flamecraft, although not as wide? It's a lot smaller, isn't it?
It's a lot smaller. Yes, it's the same size as Duals, which is actually fun. Sorry, I'm taking so long. I was trying to do a whole bunch of things here. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get this plant dragon out of the way. And I'm going to get this shaft done, which is meat, iron.
So
I know there
is
was probably a way to do something more in there, but I'm trying not to be, trying not to overthink.
Well, you can answer this question now while I
Yes.
have my go.
Kid and I are wondering if we will get to see a little sneak peek playthrough or a how to play video of the expansion during the campaign, like was done for Duals. This is a tricky one because the focus of this campaign, we're running a lot of different things in all of the time that we have, and we're doing surprises, and we're doing, Rich is going to do puzzle solving, and we're going to do a trivia thing, and we decided to focus on exposing Duals, which is a brand new game, and trusting that the expansion would be more of what everyone loves for Flamecraft. So we have tested it with people on Discord, so they've tried it out to make sure that the companions feel right, but we're not going to show the gameplay. You just have to take our word, I think, on the fact that we've just juiced up the game. The park, for example, is just firing up dragons. So if you have played Flamecraft, you know what firing up dragons is like. There are really fun combos that come up, but we don't currently have that in the plans to showcase that, because there's a lot of things to showcase on the Kickstarter. That said, it's still, I'm glad you asked, so I appreciate that. Cover that up. All right. And
I got to swap any two, but I don't think I can get. There's not enough on the board to get 4 in a row, and the swap any two doesn't help me right now. So I'm just not going to do it, and I'm just going to score plant potion.
Plant potion using the lavender token at the end here.
Yes.
Okay. What token are we going to get? Another meat. Okay, now we're talking, right? Because we could get a fountain, no problem.
What's the current count of people submitting correct answers? We are over 100, I can tell you that.
Yes, thank you for asking that as well. We're going to do a tally probably in the Monday update. We're going to talk to Rich, who's going to show everybody how to do it. So we're expecting that, there's a pretty good chance that we'll be decently on the way there, but I think that'll open it up, and then we'll give another tally.
Yeah, the reason I don't have exact numbers is because people fill it in with, say, lowercase or uppercase or whatever, so it all answers slightly differently if they're all correct. So I have to count them all up. So that's why I don't have immediate numbers in my head. But it's doing well. I'm very impressed.
It's tempting to throw. I mean, I can't get access to another meat unless I get this meat. So we're going to throw this meat in play. I am choosing to go for a fountain as opposed to going for something in my hand, which is questionable.
Le Petit Chef, please check out the Discord. There are hints and helpful things in there to help you work out how to do that puzzle. And there is also excellent duologists, our community, who can point you in the right direction. So please.
So I have completed the meat fountain.
If you don't have Discord, feel free to DM us on Instagram and I can send you hints. That's fine.
That sounds weird to say that I've completed the meat fountain, but that is what I've done.
No! What?
Yes. I didn't get my other cards done, though. So I don't know how wise that was.
What are you taking? What are you taking?
So yes, now what happens is I take the fountain and I get to completely take out a stack of tokens, and we've done something incorrect, Rosie, on this play.
Oh, we didn't take 6 out.
Yes, so what we'll do really quickly is when you're playing fountain mode, you are supposed to take 6 additional tokens out of the bag.
That's fine. They're still in there, right?
Yeah, one of each is coming back out. And that's because tokens go back in the bag, So
yeah.
Okay, so I took one of each out. We'll move them over. We'll organize that later. Sorry, dragons. We'll get you on there. We got the plant sort of close. All right. So I'm putting some tokens back in the bag now, and I have to decide what I really need to get things done around here. I think I'm going to cover up. It's usually a good idea to go for a high dragon. So I'm going to throw this iron back in the bag, and I'm going to keep Pearl on my team for the next turn. And we'll put the dragon right there.
Okay. That was really unhelpful, just letting you know.
I'm glad that it was.
Oh, good.
Crystal.
Crystal. No. Okay. Do I use a coin?
Use up all your coins. Dun,
I
dun,
know,
dun.
but I'm in a position where one of them is very hard to complete for a little while. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it because you should all learn from my mistakes.
Here we go. 2 cards. And this is actually where Rosie is going to. She's ahead of me, and I think she's spending her coins wisely. So I'm in some trouble. I probably should have spent coins last turn just to see if I could have done Fountain and 2 cards, or at least Fountain and a card. I will be thinking about spending a coin myself on my turn as well.
Well. Okay. Flippity flip.
Get those in the right spot. Okay, you need these to go. If you put them down and turn them.
It's decided that they want it together.
That's okay. Just turn them and they might sync up. And if they don't,
too much.
grab. Oh, okay. This is fun. They grab the top one and then hover it over just the top. Oh, geez. But leave them there. I got you. Wait.
I fully stuck them together.
Yeah, what is going on with these 2 cards, Rosie?
I didn't do anything. Cool. Crystal.
Sorry for my
You're
phone.
very popular today.
People.
Gonna put this over here.
This is fun. This is a stream gone wild.
This is a stream gone wild.
So you've placed a crystal dragon. You've
I
decided
did not get
different cards.
any of the ones I wanted.
I definitely think you should. I can't say.
What I should have done is done this and taken the 3 crystal and then chosen the cards. I should have done the coin a little bit later.
Order sometimes does matter.
It does indeed. I'm just gonna bring. Do I bring Venus out? That means there's 4 on the board. I'm gonna bring out an iron because there just aren't any irons, and that's my turn because I can't do it.
No cards?
No cards.
That's what we like to see.
No.
I think that was a very smart move to picking the iron, because if you had picked the plant, I was going to find a way to do that fountain. So
yeah, I figured you would. This is Peter's fountain.
I now have to play Pearl because that is the token I chose. So I'm going to play Pearl somewhere. I don't think it particularly matters at this juncture. So I'll put Pearl over here. And I can choose either the bread power to take another turn or the crystal power and to see 3 dragon tokens come out of the bag. I know there's plant tokens in there now, and I want them, but I don't know that that'll help. Now, before I fire this up, I could also do what Rosie did and spend a coin and then get some more cards, which would be interesting. I think I'm going to do that. I'd like to see some options.
Wow, we are spending our coins.
I mean, I draw 2. Okay, so I'm going to decide here.
Feel free to get more questions in about the expansion, about the digital game. If you have any questions about that, I know there was a lot of questions yesterday. But you can also join our Discord where Monster Couch have a special section where you can ask them questions and make suggestions, which is very cool.
That did not help. This may have been a mistake. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. There are so many that are close. Like if I pull the right token, I could get something close. I definitely think I got to get rid of this one. I'm so sorry, but you are too far away for my comfort. And then that's a tough choice between the remaining 3 cards. There's definitely a lot of potential. But straight out, what I think I can get done if a token gets pulled, I'll all three of these I could have to get done with the tokens pulled, but we're going to throw this one out. So I basically put back the 2 new cards that I drew. So that is what you say is that's a bad coin pull.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. We will recover. We're pulling 3 out for Pearl here.
You're doing what I just did. And oh.
I'm aware. I'm gonna go like this. I don't think that does anything that can help you. And I'm going to score meat potion. It's the old Ma and Pa's shop. And they're very happy to see me there because they're like, finally, you scored that card that you've had forever. That's fine. If anyone's watching this and saying this is not optimal duels play, you are correct.
You are so correct in
so you could do better than me by backing the game and then streaming and showing me how it's done, and I will gladly tell you that you have done the job.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, come on, it's got to be
My
doable.
only saving grace is that Rosie just had a turn like that as well. So
I did, and I've really got to get 1 card scored this time, and I'm trying to think about the fountains as well. gamble, always gamble. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the fountains as well. Like, what's out there? Am I giving you one? No, I don't want to. But I don't think there's enough chips out there for a lot of them. So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, the fountains, the potions do have 4 out there now.
So I'm going to put that there. Move that there. And
this is what happens when you wait too long on your card. Rosie's messing up all of our all the things we want to do.
I have a potion meat. So the Iron's power is that you can move 2 adjacent, 1 space each, and I really like it. I think it's really good for uncovering.
So you let me get this straight. You put this iron down or this iron down?
This one.
How did this potion get here?
It's here.
Oh, you move that one over there and you move Pearl away.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrecked everything is what I tell you.
There was a meat underneath the potion, which was very helpful.
There's a bread dragon. Now, what's interesting about the bread fountain is like there's a blocker right here. So, unfortunately, even if I was to find some way of making this happen, it is currently blocked. Now, this, however, is potentially viable. But it's very risky. I'm going to do it because we like to gamble.
Good. Wait, no.
Yes. You can totally make this happen.
Oh, I knew this would happen. You're so good at the fountain. Oh.
But I'm terrible at getting the rest of my cards, apparently. I have to do it now, though. I have to. Now, I could go iron. I could have iron cover themselves. Let's see if there's a way that I can use that to my advantage. No, I don't really think there is. No, it's difficult. Wait. Oh, that's so... I'm so close to it, Rosie. I'm so close to it because I could go here and then cover it, but I need it also, and I can't move it. I'm so close to the whole thing.
You're trying to get more than the fountain.
I'm trying to get the fountain and a card.
You don't want to get all 3?
I can't get all 3, but it's so close to being able to pull all of them.
So Exotan is asking, how many tokens can you stack vertically? It goes up to 3. So once you've got stacks of 3 out there, it starts to get very restrictive. It's got this really great build to the game where it starts off with lots of space that you can put tokens in, and it starts to be very difficult to move things around, and it's a really fun puzzle. So yeah, 3 is the answer.
Oh, I want this iron is so close to being useful.
Yeah.
So close to being useful. So I could get a card and move the bread tokens away from the fountain as one
wow
option. What?
You're just like, no fountain for anyone.
Now
Oh
I get one more
no.
move. If I do this, I get one more move. So I'm just trying to like figure out that
Yeah,
move.
that's totally fair.
Oh, this positioning is tough. I want to move this dragon, and I can't
Well,
because
no,
yeah,
there's a dragon in the way.
and I don't really want to get rid of my plant friend. Ah, there's just terrible things happening here. The potion fountain is also building to its moment.
It is, but if you put 3 there, then that's going to be very difficult. Not impossible, but difficult.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many tempting things to do here. I just it's so close to the right things.
Oh dear.
I
None
know.
for you.
Fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna move this over here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do this over here, and I'm going to achieve a bread fountain. I'm gonna go look at this bread fountain because it has bread dragons playing, and there's a frog even. I've taken one of your frogs from you with this move.
That one does surprisingly look like my mini frogs that I have here. Okay.
And I don't, let me just double check. I don't have one of my cards, so that's a whole bunch of waste right there. Oh wait. I get to put the fountain token somewhere.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And should I interrupt Calzone in this big pile here? I am very tempted to do that. But I want the ability to control some more of the board here. Do I want to swap? Is that what I want? I want a potion dragon? Possibly. But there's not a good... I'm going to take this stack out. And amazingly, is Calzone going to be the one? Well, I'm going to put the plant dragon back in. I'm going to put the iron dragon back in, and I'll keep Calzone.
Brutal. Do I have to return that token? No, it's fine. I pulled it out.
Fine.
Like
it's fine.
It gave Peter information. It doesn't help me at all.
It's all good. We're playing a casual game here of duels. Axel, you can rule that differently at your home game, but we're on a stream and we got it. We're just
okay.
Thank you. Look at this nice rooting for. Don't let Rosie get in my head. I can do it. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Do it.
Don't let Rosie get in your head. Oh dear. Okay. Any potential for a fountain? I don't think so.
I gotta do better moves though to take this down. Like for example, I almost had a fountain and a card. I gotta keep pushing this envelope.
Wait, where did I need to put it?
What Rosie is doing because she might set up some of the things we need. What is even happening? Wait. Oh, you're doing a potion. You're firing up tank as a potion. I thought you were going to fire up tank as an iron dragon, but no.
No, I did it. I decided to be, simple, and I've done this one. There you go.
Crystal potion.
Yep.
Nice. Now
I'm
going to be playing.
Still on the same. I'm not doing many 3s though, so I'm concerned. But yeah.
I took Calzone, even though it's not really needed for me specifically, but because of that.
I could have done a fountain. Really? They're saying I could have done a fountain.
You might have been able to pull a fountain.
I don't know. That's.
I mean, you had a potion iron. That's interesting.
Yeah, but the potions are all over the place.
They're all over the place.
In a line, Addie says yes.
Wow.
How does that make you feel? Need it to be? I don't know. I'm trying to see how that would. They are not in a line, but you can't swap 2 to make a line.
No.
You
would have had to probably use the Iron Dragon, and I'm not sure where you would have done it.
Yeah, like I was looking at them, and none of them are in it.
No, you could have done it. I actually see how you could have done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, it's fine. I can't use Calzone very well. I can throw a dragon somewhere else. or take another turn. This is me thinking I should spend my coins again, because one of my cards has become increasingly difficult to get. So I am going to spend a coin again. I mean, this is a costly thing to do here, but I'm going to draw 2 cards before Calzone goes out. And that is going to give me some more options. Let's look at these options. That does inform some things. I'm going to get rid of this card.
I still don't see it. Clearly my brain is mush at the end of the week.
I think I can do... I think this is an exciting card to keep. Let's see if I could throw a token somewhere that would... Yeah, let's keep this. I'm getting rid of both of my other cards. So now, unlike the last time, I am keeping both the new ones, which is theoretically way better. I'm going to put this token right here. And then we're going to throw this token over here. And that is going to be meat, and
nice.
Iron.
Very good.
Was potentially worth the coin. And I didn't give away the Iron Fountain with that because it's not in a place that can get 4. So I feel good about that. I also covered up a potion, so I feel like I've stymied the fountaining.
I still
Rosie
don't.
will see the fountaining anyway.
Still don't see it. So, they also don't see my cards. It makes me feel better about when I'm failing to do things.
That's true. Everyone can see how I'm failing this game, but they can't see how you're failing this game.
Exactly. That's the goal.
And now that you're taking your turn, I'll go see if there's any suggestions. Thank you, Axel, for that compliment.
Okay, so I put this here, and I'm going to use the...
Oh, this is a nice comment. Megan's like, I can't wait to play with this in a cafe, cute coffee, and kicking my partner's butt. That is what you aspire to do in games, right?
Yeah, that coin paid for itself.
Appreciate everybody, staying along to watch. We'll have to, give everybody in the stream some special code word to say that you stayed through the end. Appreciate all the support. Oh, you've got matcha.
This is my 3rd chip. It's going so well. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I'm still like, probably could have done a fountain by now, but my brain's just like, I want to get both cards. Okay. So I'm gonna
Would you use like Venus to fire up
bread?
Yeah. And then you're firing up a bread again?
Potentially, but I might try and get the 4 leaf.
Thanks for doing a card that I just threw out.
Right?
It wasn't
okay.
good context.
So, yeah, I'm gonna put it here.
You can now get a fountain.
Chain. No, chain, red. Move this here.
Yeah, nicely done.
Oh no, but that ruins my... Wait, no, wait. Yes, it has to go here. Oh no, damn it.
You're not
Can't get all 3 cards.
You have to choose fountain or car or shop. Fountain or shop.
It'll be fountain.
Probably smart to take fountain because I can't get your shop scored and you can.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the 3 bread in a row.
And the plant fountain. Nicely done. You're on the board with fountains. You also just got 2 3-point cards to answer my 2. It's really a nice turn.
Yeah, it was. If you'd have known how close it was to getting all 3. I'll tell everyone at the end what card I had, but it was close. Okay, which one do I want? I want to stop you getting the... Yeah, I think I'm gonna...
It's very hard to get other fountains right now, so you don't have to worry about that.
I'm gonna take this stack.
Okay.
Up there, put the potion away. I love Venus. Great card.
So now I know that I need to move Matcha or Twig to get out of the way so she can't get that card. That's why I know. That's my other mission for this turn, is make sure that Rosie cannot do that.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate all the nicely dones and the praise. Also, notice it's getting dark in the UK, so I'm just gonna like slightly move the blinds. There you go, a little bit brighter.
This is kind of fun because A, it stops Rosie's cards, and B, it makes an iron fountain.
No.
Just want to double check that I don't have my other things. I don't, because I just did that as instead of doing other useful things.
Wow, that was very vindictive. Yeah.
Have an iron fountain. They're building
I
the
did
fountain.
tell everyone that you're very good at fountains.
But at the cost of my other cards. So if you want to be better than me, what you need to do is figure out how to do a fountain and score your other cards, which I.
Oh wait, sorry, shouldn't have drawn that.
Yeah, I have to cover one of these. And I believe I will also be taking this out. I need Matcha to come back. Devastation.
What, Jack?
Boom.
That is brutal.
It's all right. You can still do your other cards, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So we're going to see how I've messed up my other cards, but we'll see what Rosie does with her cards. See if I can get back in. There's still a crystal fountain and a potion fountain to be had. Did you chain to a bread? Did you
Yeah, I went all the way down here.
Venus to get Pearl?
I use this one.
Oh, wow.
No, that is not how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Okay. Swap any two. Swap any two.
Let's go answer questions while Rosie's thinking.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god. Okay.
If you're not talking about Flamecraft Duals, you might be in the wrong chat.
It's gone, don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, Rosie.
Sorry. I was just like, what? Okay. Come on. Okay, so
welcome to the stream, Betty. Better late than never. Absolutely. We appreciate you being here and joining us for a chat. Now, if you go back and watch the other part of the chat, you'll see all the Dragons and Dragons contents explained. And now, if you come here, you'll see a very close match of duels where Rosie and I are both making inferior moves to see who could do the worst at the game.
Okay. I'm gonna. I just could put this somewhere, I guess, and then swap any two. So I'm gonna swap this one and this one, and I've got that one here.
Crystal leaf.
Yeah.
Plant. All right. I don't feel great about these cards, but
nice t-shirt. Yeah, I'm jealous of Peter's t-shirt.
This is an old school shirt that we made, and there's someone I still owe one of these to who won one of our prizes, and we'll do some more Pizza Coven prizes since I have to get more shirts anyway. We'll figure out a good time for that. What am I going to do with this token? Matcha, I did want you to be on our team. Let's put you here. What? That's so funny.
Because you know one of my cards, so you're just deliberately...
Right?
Yeah, I get it.
But I'm also thinking about the potion fountain right now.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Which I am entranced by these fountains every time.
So annoying. So annoying. Time. Got another. Like, I think I predicted that you would get 5.
But this doesn't really help me here. Let me just see about this. No, like I can. Hmm.
Go for the fountain, Peter. They are.
It's fun to go for fountains. What I want to do, though, is pull off a card and a fountain. That's what I'm really trying to do.
No. Just purely focus on one thing. That's the advice.
I don't want to cover up that bread, but I'm going to have to cover it. No, that bread will move. Okay, good. We'd rather leave the bread around. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to activate the potion power to do this. Sadly, no, I do have that actually completes a card and a fountain. Yes, that's what we're talking about. So this card is potion, plant, which I didn't think I had, but matcha counts as the plant, and there's 2 potions. Voila, this card is done. And
nice.
There's also the potion. Look at this potion fountain. This is my favorite one, everybody, because they're coloring the water.
It's so
cute. Super cute.
So
they're playing around with the colors of the fountain, and I think that's a fun way for potion dragons to be. We're going to score that, and we're going to move the fountain now. And this is a tricky decision of what to take. What is the most useful way of pulling off a couple of cards? I mean, obviously we have to take away Rosie's ability to get her card. 100%. We have to do that.
Just use a coin so you don't know what I've got. This is the first time I've played where someone's known my card.
I think I'm going to cover this one up, and we're going to go with Matcha again. Matcha's our team. Okay. You can still make that happen. You can get your card down now.
True.
But you have to go through a dragon.
Yeah.
All right. I have to draw another card also, so everybody can study what my next card will be. Okay. These are hard. These cards are difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna use the crystal.
Okay. Pulling it out, hoping for a plant. No.
Useless.
Thank you for staying with us, Faith. If you see this later, appreciate that you're playing Critter Kitchen for your sister's birthday. That's awesome. Thanks for playing one of our games. As we, that's one of our fun ones that can go up to 7. So I hope you have a great time with your family. I do think, Betty, that you were probably correct that I should have taken calzone. 100%. I think that was the better move. But I like matcha for other reasons.
I'm going to use a coin because I don't like you knowing my card.
Oh, wow. You really are going to potentially get rid of it. You don't have to get rid of it. I won't know if you do get rid of it.
Okay. This one and this one.
All right, let me turn those.
And I place this one here. And put these back. And we have a plant iron and a bread crystal.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
Bread crystal, because pearl counts as a crystal. Nice.
Yes.
So matcha now has some work to do.
Yeah, have you got a card that's a chip that's unhelpful now?
There might be some. Might have to figure this out with.
Swim says, I know I'm a few minutes behind, but you shouldn't have been able to get that iron fountain.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe I didn't do it right. Yeah.
Ooh.
There's an asterisk on the play now. I'll have to go back and look at the footage myself.
Potentially, it was a duel, and you maybe.
No, I mean, I'll go look at it and definitely apologize if I missed it. But just had to get in Rosie's head about the fountains and not doing them all the time. Definitely trying to figure out what this token will do. I guess I can play Matcha for a swap. Swap is not bad. But I gotta do the right swap here, right? I need to make sure like that's a swap. That's a swap.
If you two play again, can we see Rosie's cards? You can, but then you get really low quality movement on Steam. you get some terrible angles of me moving around, but we can do it next time.
Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We can change it up. I'm looking for a way to do a creative swap. Because I would like potentially, yeah. How am I going to get these to go the right direction? I want a bread over here, I think, somewhere. So I need to figure that out.
Now all of you understand why we remove a set of chips, an additional set, because the fountain, because it really stretches out the game when you're like adding chips back in the bag. Just imagine testing with it when people were not removing 6.
Right. So I could almost see this. I'm sure that the team will see it somewhere.
They're all telling you to swap, whatever that means.
I know. There's a swap. I just don't see the complete swap yet.
I'm not loving this huge gap around here. It's like, no, why is this happening?
Because I could swap with this crystal. That's another way I could go. And if I do that, it's so tempting because I could move. Could I swap Pearl out somewhere? Yes, that's the move. It's swapping Pearl. We're gonna put Matcha over here. That doesn't help Rosa get in case she kept the plant. So we're gonna swap Pearl and this meat dragon, and that is the move that creates a bread, and a meat crystal. Because at the end, we tag Team Frostfire in there.
Very nice.
Thank you to the chat for seeing it first. I knew it was there somewhere. And now ready to draw 2 new cards while Rosie figures out what she will do. Axel, I'm seeing like 3 different swaps, but just do a simple meat and bread sandwich. Now I'm hungry.
Okay.
I like that there's multiple ways to get there, though. That's often the case if I'm watching someone else and I see their cards and I go, "Oh, you could have done it that way." It's really interesting how this game does have some options. And what you want to do is not close out your moves for your next cards. If you're still leaving any cards that you want to do, you want to see if you can keep those alive. Appreciate everybody staying with us to see how Duals plays, joining us for the stream.
Or just play incredibly slowly.
Axel's now telling me you could have done a simple meat and bread and used Pearl and Calzone for your bread pyramid. Could I have gotten, though, Axel, the meat crystal with that move? I didn't see how that bread sandwich would have created the second card. So it's tough. It might have been there. Rosie, you got your plant dragon.
Yeah, it's useless to me now.
Oh no. Oh no. And Rosie's out of coins. So
I'm totally out of coins. It's outrageous.
There are just 4 chips in the bag. So we're looking at pretty slim amount of turns left.
Okay, I'm gonna place this here, use the potion to swap any 2. and swap these two.
Okay.
Which gets me this one here. There we go.
I really like that move. All right, because you're getting the crystals together for a possible crystal fountain. I can feel it happening. We're going to pull a token. It is an iron dragon. We are excited because one of our cards is already done. And we're trying to figure out now the remaining token. It seems pretty easy to get that one. But what other damage could I do with this iron dragon? We want to excavate tokens, possibly. So we're going to throw this dragon here. No, that won't excavate enough tokens. We could go over here and bring Razor Claw on top. That could give Rosie too many ways into it, which is dangerous, but we're going to do it for fun. So I got potion, crystal with our, apothecary shop. And I also got the crystal bread. Look at these crystal dragons running that shop and having a great time. That's one of my favorite shops in the game because you could turn in resources for points. 2 more shops to do. One of them is difficult. Both of them are difficult.
Move this here.
Why are you undoing the work I did? I did some careful work.
We have 3 meats and iron, crystal. And I just threw it on the table. Look at that.
Naru says, Kiddo and I have just come back from the hospital from a procedure. I'm so sorry to hear that, but this is the perfect way to unwind. We're glad that we're giving you that. We really enjoy watching this calm and entertaining playthrough. It's our pleasure to share the game. We do that on our Discord as well, and we really appreciate the community who also helps us demo the game. And there's a lot of duologists that have played and shared the game too. You all finished?
Yep.
You basically just undid everything. I hope you know that.
But you have a crystal.
I know.
So you might get your 5 that I predicted at the beginning.
I mean, I got to put it here, I think, because of the possibility.
Yeah.
Right? I got to put it there because that's just too good. Except I got to consider my other cards for a second. Well, one moment.
No, don't do that.
All right, fine. We'll just do it for fun. Boom. Draw 3 tokens.
Come on.
Red.
Will you get 5?
Is that it? There's no more in the bag, which is going to trigger the final turn.
Oh no, this is bad.
I'm going to put all of the tokens back in the bag. Now we know there is a crystal that will be possible. I pull 2 more tokens to complete the power. And one of them is potion and one of them is plant.
No, don't you dare. No.
But that will be our final turn. I can't fire the ability of the token I take. So that is a bummer. So I cannot get the crystals to go. This is difficult. I think I'm going to need to spend my coin probably because I do need to see other card options before we finish this turn.
Did we spend all 3? I think we did.
We did. This was a very tough match. So let's see. That's not going to be that helpful. That's done. So we're going to keep that card 100%. Woohoo! We'll just keep that card right here. I don't need to worry about that card. But now the question is, which one of these other cards will be possible?
Box Meeples are here. Hi, Box Meeples.
Hey, welcome.
Also, they just posted a solo video. I'm going to go watch it. But they posted a solo video for Duals, so excited to watch it.
I definitely can't get this other card done. So the question is, could I pull off somewhere this final card? Let me look at this card again. So should not have put it away because I need to ponder it. Okay. This card we're just gonna say that's not gonna be one of our picks for sure. And We have that one under control. If we could just get on this 3 stack, we'd have another one under control, but it's difficult. I gotta use the dragons I have. This is because I can't. I can choose one of these 3 tokens, but I don't get to fire it up, which is a difficult part of this for sure. And I keep thinking it's got to be in there, but it's possible that it's just not. It's possible that it's just not in there. Yeah, because the irons are not connected. That poses a problem for that card. And there is a 3 stack getting in my way for the other card. For several of the cards, actually. So, I just don't see a way to do it. Oh well. I'm going to score 1 card, I think. And I will place a token atop. It doesn't really matter because you are just scoring cards, but just in case you have some crazy crystal thing, we're going to cover that up.
I can't score any.
It doesn't really matter which card I was picking. I was throwing 2 away. And the only card I have is this bread leaf with Matcha's help. So that'll be my final score of the game. And I don't do this other card.
I can't score either of mine. They are just not there, and I don't have a coin. So
all right. So that.
But if you'd have randomly placed the leaf there, I would have gotten one.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay.
Random.
So now
let's score it up. Here we go. We have a nice thing in our mod that Lauren put in where we can just auto score. This doesn't come in the physical game, but it happens to make it really nice in TTS. I got a score of 39.
32.
And you have 32, and neither of us have any coins to add to our score. So that is our rematch. We are now 1-1, which I believe sets us up beautifully for when we come back.
Yes, where we will make it even harder and add fountain and fancies.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments what fancies you want us to add with the fountain. Comment, not these comments, the actual comments in the video, because it's very hard for us to see these after the fact. They just go away, and I have to scroll through them. So yes, and thank you everyone for watching. This was maybe our longest live in a long time.
Yes.
The sun has gone down in the UK.
Several people who have been like keeping this on are like, wow, I just gained a 2-hour show. But appreciate all the support for the campaign. Appreciate the support for our games. If we didn't get to one of your questions, please do. You can keep it on this YouTube video. You can ask us in Discord. You can ask us on Facebook. Obviously, the Flamecraft Facebook group is very active right now. But again, if you have any questions about Critter Kitchen or Drama's Edge, do not hesitate. We're all around the internet. Happy to help out. And we have a very exciting next week for everyone. We have Rich Molina is going to come in and show you how it's done. If you're stuck on puzzle number 2 on the campaign, he is going to talk out how he made the puzzle, some tricks to making puzzles, and also a solution. And we're going to have Stephen Conway from the Spiel Foundation, which is one of the coolest things about this campaign. We haven't really featured this out because this is going to be in the Pledge Manager. You can actually buy a $10 copy of Duals to donate to a school or a Boys and Girls Club or a hospital or a senior center. This is what the Spiel Foundation does. They get games to lots of places that don't have access to games, but they also teach games to people who don't know about games. And I love that Duals is going to be in that mix. And they also pre-punch every game that they ever send. And what's kind of funny about Duals is very ready to go. There's actually no punching to do. So we've also saved the Spiel Foundation all this work. It's a perfect
you pay
matchup.
10 and then we pay the rest. So
we're going to cover all the remaining costs just so that if you want to help get more games out there. We're going to talk to Stephen Conway about the Spiel Foundation. So if you think about questions for him, also he's going to come with some trivia because he's really good at that. So we're going to have a fun time chatting with the Spiel Foundation.
See how well you know your dragons.
In addition to that, we're going to reveal the coaster that Sandara has decided to unlock. And we're going to, if we get all of the puzzles, if enough people solve puzzle 2, we have a very special unlock for everybody. So thank you again.
If you watched all the way to this point, I want you to say, what does your t-shirt say?
It says,
Pizza coming. I want you to write pizza coming.
Tell us if tell us if you would consider getting a Pizza Coven shirt someday, I suppose, if we had that. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And cheers, game on, enjoy your week.